Hello there everybody, this is Getty92 coming at you today actually with a special episode. It's actually not Rush related, but Rush fanatics, especially on Facebook, make this thing Rush related, and I wanted to talk about this after the video, but I want to check out a new band. It's called Envy of None with the song called Liar. We will check out an official lyric video, and then afterwards I will get into some ranting there. Grab yourself some milk. There's some alcohol involved there, but grab yourself something good to drink and let's enjoy a very new band with a very new song. Let's get right into it. I'm excited. I've never ever, promise 100%, never ever heard this song before. Envy of None, Liar. April 2022. That's the month. On the 8th of April 2022, we will get new music that we all will maybe share together. And I actually want to take a minute here and there, first of all, to actually talk about the song, and then to talk about the community, which pisses me off bigly. Bigly is a word by Trump, I know, but it's a great word. Just love this word. So, that song, where's the guitar solo? That's the only thing that kind of like pisses me off, because I know who's in the band, that I was missing some guitar solo there. Because that would bring in some other old school fans actually to this new direction, to this new music, and to this new band. If there would have been a guitar solo and slightly a bitter way of the sound of the guitar. It sounds very, very, very dark, very fuzzy guitar there. But I don't want to talk about the guitar at all because that is a new band, or that is in general a band, 4-piece band as far as I know, and I want to recap the whole song. So first of all, that is the sound of modern music with handmade instruments actually. This sounds like a song that could have been easily done with synthesizers or with just a keyboard on a bed, sitting in front of a laptop, opening GarageBand or whatever program you want to use, plug in your MIDI keyboard and make this music or make this song. That's one thing that I like and don't like at the same time, but we will get to that. This is maybe a longer video for you guys, but there's some major stuff actually that got me into thinking and got me kind of like angry about some community members that happen to be actually cool people. So, and I don't include any cuts in here because I wanna make this as like a real video. It's not a reaction video, it's a review about the state of music art in general, currently regarding Alex Lifeson for example, or especially. So I do really like this song in general, because I'm not that kind of a guy who says, oh yeah, only music that has been published from 1964 until 1994 was the best music, and after that there was no good music at all. What a dumb thing to say. And I know a lot of people, I actually do, and you know those people too. Maybe you're one of them, and I kind of like feel sorry for you. But I know some people that argue like that only good music was produced in the last century, and today's music doesn't even get close to the quality and sound of music that was there in the last century. And I do understand that from a certain standpoint, when you actually want to listen to music that is easy in general. And this is maybe a whole vlog video worth talking about this, but I think I will include this in here because that's more truthful to me at least. So therefore, it's a modern song, but it's not a bad song at all. It's a cool produced song. It's a glued song. You know, you can clearly hear that this was kind of like a copy and paste music on a lot of passages there. When it comes down to the instruments, I don't think that they played it live in the way of that. Maybe they were playing like, I don't know, for like 4 beats, and then they were copying what they've played or recorded, and they were just pasting into the right sections of the song. I do believe that happened here. Not necessarily a bad thing. I'm doing my music these days in that way too, because it's easier for me to get more into that kind of like perfection and asked sound actually of today's music, because almost nobody wants to hear a live album in terms of that it's of course a studio album, but everybody was playing that songs live from the first second to the last second, each song of the complete album. Nobody, or almost nobody's doing it these days anymore, which makes total sense, because with all the technology that we have nowadays, it's just way easier to record music. Now, does this make the music less worth? No, it doesn't, because music still requires some talent and some knowledge actually of what you're doing, and you have to be capable actually of doing that, what you want to get out there on the record, what you desire, the certain sound that you're desiring as a musician, you want to get that. And that's a lot of thinking, and don't get me wrong, I'm not that kind of like a big fan of modern music when it comes down to the terms of mixing and mastering and how these songs actually have been recorded, because, you know, I'm kind of like an old school listener too, but I do appreciate all of those efforts there, because that song, Liar from Envy of None, sounds exactly like I would have imagined modern day music when it comes down to, in some certain rock areas, hard rock areas, or alternative. I would maybe call this alternative. And this is the sound I was looking for when I knew what the band actually would sound like judging on the photos and videos that I've seen of this group so far. So therefore, cool song in general, really like it, modern fresh sound. Wish it would have included a guitar solo or any other kind of solo, because that was really missing out here. It was kind of like sad actually. But in general, it's a cool song, and I'm really looking forward to the record there. And I really would like to listen to the other songs of that particular record. Now, you know, guys, who the guitar player is in this particular band here. And I don't want to make this on a topic based on Rush, actually, because it has nothing to do with Rush at all. But especially the Facebook groups tend to have a feeling that this is Rush 2.0, and therefore when those people, when they listened for the first time to this song, they didn't like it at all. They were saying, oh, how is Alex sounding there? This is garbage music. This is modern music. I don't like it at all. How dare he is in another band now? Is this now really Rush 2.0? I'm so pissed off because of the ways of how Alex is handling music. And I'm just sitting down there and I'm reading all of those comments that are going into that kind of like direction, blaming Alex for making music actually, and blaming the sound. And you can always blame a sound, but when it comes down to Rush fans, and I'm really sorry to say that, but Rush fans are not the easiest fans. You are getting so quickly into a virtual fight with other people on certain platforms there when it comes down to Rush discussions. It's just disgusting. I've never ever in my life, since I'm on social media, I've never ever witnessed such a fan base that is so toxic from the inside out and from outside in. It's just something really weird still to this day. So this song was released like 1 month ago or so, and I actually didn't have the time or desire to listen to the song because of the comments actually. And not because of that the commenters said that this is a garbage song, more because of the fact that people who always say that Alex Lifeson and Geddy and Neil, they only belonged in Rush, and that's the only thing how you see those certain people. Which is total nonsense. And if you truly believe in that Alex, Neil and Geddy were the only combination where you thought it would have worked with each individual, please unsubscribe from my channel. Please really do, because I don't want to have these kind of like idiots who are saying, oh well, Alex should be only allowed to play with Geddy or nothing. Or Geddy should be only allowed to play with Alex or nothing. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. And I'm kind of like feeling ashamed, especially because I do sense in some way that Alex is a social media guy. Maybe on Instagram only. But he's reading that comments too. And what he's reading is the comments from like 65 years. And I'm not blaming somebody because of their age, but the truthness is here that Rush fans are older than I am. So basically there's like a 65 years bald guy saying, oh how dare, that's envy of none, that's not my Rush that I tend to listen to every day, and this is not Alex Lifeson. Please unsubscribe if you're one of those people. Please do, because that is something that's just out of every mind. Because at the end of the day, each musician or each person on this beautiful planet called Earth is an individual. And why shouldn't Alex be allowed to actually make other music? Because he already did one solo record, and so did Geddy. And Neil was, for example, doing some tutorials for young drummers. And therefore there was always some kind of like music involved there. And nobody argued, probably, but this was before internet big time, probably nobody argued about that Neil was actually doing something outside Rush, spending some time with something different, and it may be only tutorial videos for drums, but I'm pretty sure there will be, or there have been, that kind of like guy who said, how dare he's doing tutorials now, he should be recording or writing some lyrics for the newest Rush record. How dare he's doing something. And I do think that nobody was blaming Geddy 21 years ago, actually, when he made his record My Favorite Headache. I think it's called like that. Great record, but I didn't go a lot into it. Like the opener, but the other songs, still have to listen a lot of times to this record. But I do think nobody was blaming Geddy back in those days, because everybody somehow felt and knew that Rush would maybe never come back. And what's the difference with today? The only difference is that one founding member, and not even a founding member, that one core member of Rush sadly died. But it doesn't make a difference when you are just looking at Geddy and Alex as an individual and as a musician there. They should be totally allowed to do everything they actually want to do. And we Rush fans shouldn't be the one to argue about this fact. We should only argue about the music that will be there in the future. We can go in a lot of fights when there's new music coming along, and we will get to that music. I promise to you, as soon as that record drops and as soon as it's available for doing reaction videos, because we have to check laws and rights on YouTube and all of that crap. But when that once is kind of like allowed, and when the album is released, we will of course get into that. Because I want to listen to that band. I don't want to listen to Alex in specific. I want to listen to this band because this band sounds interesting. And it has actually nothing to do with being Alex there playing the guitar. Of course, this was the opener to get to know the band actually, because if Alex wouldn't have joined that band, I maybe would have never heard of that band, of course. But now with being able to remember this band on the 8th of April 2022, when their new record will drop, or their debut record will drop, I will for sure listen to this record. And I will for sure think about this record in terms of music, not in terms of that Alex is part of this band. I don't care about that. I care about good music. And that's all I really have to say there, everybody. So therefore, I would like to know what your views are on this. And I know this episode maybe will get me some less subscribers, or some people will unsubscribe. But if you can't judge music only because of the music, and you judge the music or the band or whatever, the song, because of who's in there and what they have done before that, well, I can't help you. Nobody can help you. Well, then you're really doomed and damned to listen to the same music that has been out there since 1965, 67, 70s, 80s, 90s, you name it. But if you're not a fan of the music from the last 21 years, well, there's certainly a good ton of music out there. You just have to discover it. And that's all you really have to do. And I promise to you, you will find music that has been recorded in the last 21 years that you will like. Outside of Rush, outside of Love Bites, outside of Nirvana or whatever band you are into. There is always good music that gets produced each and every day. And like I said, I didn't actually said that, but I will say that on Sunday's episode with the new Rush episode I recorded earlier this day. I actually have a Spotify playlist, and I actually was looking for certain keywords on Spotify. For example, the keyword Dean, my name. I was searching for that keyword on Spotify, and I was just going through the artists, and I was listening to the artists that have like 5 monthly listeners. So they are not famous at all. They don't have like these 3 million listeners like Rush has on Spotify. They have 5. Some of those artists I discovered in the last 2 weeks have like 1 monthly listener. Only one person out of like 8 billion people on the world, and it's probably the guy himself, only one person is listening to that guy's music there that I have randomly discovered. And it's good produced music. So there's always good music out there, everybody. There is always good music out there. If you're just a lazy dumbass who just relies on what the Grammy nominations are saying, or who is relying on what the top 10 or top 100s or top whatever charts are, well, then I feel sorry for you. You have to get your ass up and really look for good music. It's not coming your way. It's not. Like love, it's not just coming your way. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it really does. But most of the times, most of the times there's always something going on in your life where you discover new music or a new band. Like you all said, how you discovered and why you discovered Rush, actually, for example, when it comes down to Rush. What the first moment was when you were listening to them and why you were hooked away. That's cool. But think about the thing that actually caused the situation that you heard about Rush for the first time. It's something that you probably weren't looking for. That was something of a surprise, maybe. But in these days, there's so much music out there. Like movies, like whatever, like sitcoms, you name it. There's a lot of stuff out there. You have to get to know the stuff that you really like, and you have to look for stuff that sounds similar like that. And I promise to you, especially on the streaming services these days, just type in one word, like peach on Spotify. Just go on Spotify, put in the search bar peach, the word peach, go to the artists, just scroll down like 4 or 5 seconds, and then look for the artists that are actually called peach. It's just an example. Could be any other word. Check out their monthly listeners, and if they have less, like, I don't know, 1,500, you will find artists that have like 10 monthly listeners. I promise to you, in 1 out of 10 artists that you discover, you will at least like one. I promise to you. And you will have never heard about this artist in your life before. And that's the beauty of modern technology. So therefore, thank you guys as always for tuning in. Have a great day or great night, depending on what area you are living in on this beautiful, beautiful planet Earth. And see you soon this Sunday, new Rush episode. Hand over fist, as far as I've heard. So therefore, thank you guys, and